Okay, so hello everyone, my name is Krzysztof, and today I want to talk a little bit about how to set up web extension project with TypeScript and React, and also Webpack. And the first thing is, as you already know, you may ask what the hell is a web extension? And to be honest, it's a kind of mess in terms of the naming. You can read more about this in terminology on the wiki of Mozilla, but the basic idea is that you should always say that you are developing an extension to the browser. I mean, it means that you are developing an extension for Chrome or for Firefox or for Safari. And the web extension is basically a set of APIs that allows you to build those extensions right now for Firefox, but in the future, I think in Safari 14, you can see it already in Safari preview. You can implement use the same web extension API to develop the extension for Safari. And I think in terms of migrating from Chrome extensions to Safari to like web extensions, I think I didn't do it, but it's supposed to be fairly easy, at least what the Mozilla is saying. So you have to believe them. Okay, so the basic idea how everything is working here. First, you have a React application, and the React is compiled by Webpack to this dist folder. And there is another thing called WebExtension, which is looking into two files. The first file is manifest.json. This is the standard, I would say, standard way of describing the extensions. I will show you in a moment what this manifest can contain. And those two files has to be presented. So the first file is the manifest, and the second file, this is HTML itself, which is then displayed. Which is then like displayed as a extension, basically. And this web extension is a set of tools which allows you to more easy develop extension. Right now, I think it's only supported for Firefox. I saw that they plan to do this also for Chrome and for Safari in the future, but right now this is only for Firefox. And yeah, everything is happening in real time, so you will see how it flies. Okay, let me get out of presentation and go to the code. Okay, so how everything is working. Let's start with the manifest. As I said previously, here is nothing important. This is the name. Name should be important. I'm currently doing a promo code tracker. This is like I want to create an extension for Firefox which shows me which promo code I added for given site. And there are two things that is important here. This is the pop-up. So I'm saying like, if I click this extension in the browser, please open the pop-up with this index HTML. And I also need permission to read URL like in the tabs. So all URLs in the tabs. And how everything is happening there. So we have also Webpack config. The Webpack config is, I would say, a little standard one. So you have a HTML Webpack plugin. This is for injecting HTML by Webpack. We have a clean Webpack plugin, so it's a little bit cleaning up after each run. And I have here an entry. I name it pop-up. It's up to you. If you want to develop your own extension, there are different types of those extensions. You can have a sidebar, you can have a pop-up, you have a thing in address bar. There's a lot of things that you can do. And you have two loaders. You have a loader for TSX and for CSS. And you have, and you are basically outputting the pop-up to the dist folder, as you can see here. We have an index.html and pop-up.js. And we also need the TS config, I would say, is a standard one, so nothing special here. And we have a package.json. which all the magic happens. So what we have here, we have a Webpack in watch mode. So the idea is that first I run a Webpack, then Webpack is compiling files to the dist folder. Then I say WebExtension, look into folder of dist, and then say, and basically WebExtension is looking into manifest, to be honest, and they are saying, okay, I have to go to the dist.index.html to load this extension. And I'm also saying, like, please open this in Firefox Developer Edition. So normally, if you are developing to the Chrome, you have to do it manually, right? Right now, you have everything in the npm script. I have a few things here. This is WebExtension linter. I try to run it once, but currently, as I'm in development mode, it's linting a little bit too much in my taste, because as you can see here with my popup.js, this is like not minified, and this is React here, like all the stuff that you can imagine in development mode, but they are still shouting at me that they have some comments in popup.js. But I think it is nice when you want to deploy your or release your web extension to the public. Okay, and how it's looking in the index.html, as you may wonder, it's normal HTML with the div of root, and as you can imagine, we have a React hooked to this root element, and this is like React components, CSS, everything that you can imagine. How it looks like, how we can start it. You can basically write npm.start. Everything is happening. The Firefox is firing up. This is a brand new Firefox profile. It takes a little bit time on my MacBook Air to fire up. And as you can see here, I have my web extension ready. And if I change something, let's say I do not want to render list element, it automatically I have to wait a little bit. So as you can see here, it's auto updating, and you may wonder also how to debug those web extensions. There is a handy about debugging in Firefox. You can enter this. You can go to this Firefox, and let's inspect the promo code tracker. What is also really nice here is that you can disable pop-up auto hide. So you can click here, and you have all the access to the to your application, basically to the grid, to all the goodness of Firefox Firefox DevTools here. What is I say missing or quite a problematic in this setup? It's quite heavy. I mean, heavy in terms of the usage of the RAM or everything. My computers, I have a MacBook Air, and it cannot handle like having both VS Code and two Firefoxes at the same time, and it starts a little bit lagging sometimes. So this is something I will have to look into more, how to optimize that if I want to develop more extensions or do it further. I didn't yet present any like production builds because I don't need them, to be honest. Right now I'm developing it, so it's a work in progress. When I have something concrete and what is the best way to approaching building for productions ready application, I will for sure make a presentation for that. And yeah, I think that's all, and thank you very much.